What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I'm back. I'm here to talk about UFC 312. These are the fights that the UFC absolutely needs to put on this card. I'm the best matchmaker on YouTube, so I'm here to give my 2 cents on what fights I think we'll see, what fights I think the UFC should add, because there's a lot of potential for this card, and I'm very excited to get into this. By the way, I'm sorry that I was away for like 3 days. A couple of you guys messaged me asking about the beach. I was obviously at the beach this weekend. Yeah, I had a great time, guys. Thanks everybody for asking. I know all of you guys really care about that. Let's just say I was like prime Aspinall out there. Hello, Huz. How are you? It's good to meet you. Have you ever been but all jokes aside, bro, I was out there putting up a stat line of fucking 20. Damn, she's bad. You know, 0 women spoken to, about 5 physique photos in the fucking prime lighting at the beach, and I'm fired up. I'm ready to talk about UFC 312 because, like I said, dude, there's a lot of fucking potential for this card to be good. And if it is good, and if it is stacked, I will be going. I will be attending. I will be making a video about it because there's potential that we get Volkanovski, Israel Adesanya, JDM. We might even get fucking Tai Tuivasa. I might have to bring out the Tai Tuivasa shirt. First thing I want to talk about is the potential headliner of this. I think it's going to be Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. I could see the UFC making Strickland versus Duplessis. Mate, I didn't say that Volkan Lopez is going to be the main event. I said it could be the main event. Totally fucking different, bro. Okay, nobody said anything about not having a title fight, bro. Okay, but I don't know. I could see that happening, but I feel like Strickland's kind of pushing back on going international, so we might just end up with Drickus and Sean fighting each other in America in March, and I feel like this is a great opportunity to stack this card with big names from Australia and New Zealand, because last year we couldn't really get Volk, we couldn't get JDM either. He was injured, I believe. So this year, let's go all in. Let's have Volk headline for old time's sake against Diego Lopez for the interim title. I know that we don't really need an interim title, but if Ilia Topuria wants to take time off, we might as well just slap this together, because if Volk can't beat Lopez, like, he's not going to beat Topuria anyways, but at least maybe we can get our hopes up if he beats Lopez. And if Lopez wins this fight, it's a huge deal. It adds a lot of name value to him. It's an exciting matchup. I know there's people delusional enough out there to believe that Volk is going back on the title run. You know what I mean? And this is where it might start. This is where the gaslighting might begin, where we go, hold on, he actually looked good. You know what I'm saying? Right, this is the type of fight where Volk could low-key win that, and I'm like, hold on a second. I might pick him, though. But nah, dude. I don't think Volk or Lopez beats Topuria, but I would love to see them fight each other. I think it's a very exciting fight. You know, I'm the top of guy. I want to see this fight, you know? I want to see contenders fight each other. When they don't, you know, it's doing my fucking head in. So let's make that the main event of UFC 312. Another fight I think we need to see on this card is apparently Israel Adesanya just entered training camp. I saw a YouTube post from Gilbert Burns confirming that. Why is Gilbert Burns running a fucking meme page, bro? Get in the gym, dog. Like, what are you doing running a fucking meme? I guess I can't talk, but Gilbert Burns posted officially Izzy's back in training camp. I think it's going to be Nasruddin Imavov. Now, I would rather it be someone that I care about watching, like Izzy versus Shara Bullet, brother. Or, you know, Izzy versus my boy Anthony Hernandez. But I'm a realist. I'm a realist. I'm a realistic young fella, young brother. And I think it's going to be Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. I would love for this to be a 3-round fight. I just think 5 rounds of Izzy, like, we've had enough. Okay? It's 2024. We've had enough. All right? I don't want to go 5 rounds with Israel Adesanya. I don't want, you're going to get 5 nights like it's Freddy's. Trust. Like, I don't want that shit, dude. I don't want 5 rounds of Israel Adesanya. Pause. I think 3 rounds is just enough to see if he's washed. If he wins it, it's going to be short and sweet. We'll be excited. You know, we don't have to sit through 25 minutes of fucking John. And just the sophistication of the leg strikes, the feint game of Israel Adesanya is a sight to behold. Like, I am not trying to sit through 25 minutes of this shit. I think 3 rounds is good enough. Like I said, it's a good enough test in 3 rounds to see, is he washed? If he wins, boom, you're back in the title picture for the fucking 47th time. But regardless, if Imavov wins, you know, it is what it is. It's only 3 rounds. We don't have to sit through 5 rounds. I think this is a necessary matchup in the middleweight division. Like I said, I'm not super hyped about this. you know, but I do think that it will add hype to the card, if that makes sense. Like having Volk and Izzy there together on fight week, it'll remind us of the good old days. And I think that's what this card needs is like, you don't need to worry about, oh, let's bring in Drickus and Sean. I think if you just stack this up with names that everyone fucks with, like Izzy and Volk and Lopez, and my boy, let me tell you about this kid, Jack Della Maddalena. Let me tell you about this guy, all right? Put him on this card, please. Bring him back. I miss my boy, dude. I haven't seen my boy since March, bro. And I've been watching these other fighters, bro, and I'm just, man, JDM would have finished this dude with body shots, man. You know, nobody's grabbing the wrist and punching the guy against the fence like a fucking, you know, police officer with the body cam turned off like JDM was doing to Basil Hafez. You know what I'm saying, man? I just miss this guy. I'm ready for him to come back. And I think if you do get this card of like Volk and Lopez, I'm pretty confident that's going to be on this card. Right? I don't think Topurio is coming out to Australia to beat Volk again. And I'm pretty confident we'll get Izzy and Volk, at least those two on this card. So I don't know, considering the fact that Bilal Muhammad pulled out of his fight against Shavkat Rakhmonov. Fuck's sake. We might not get Usman. Like, I don't think the UFC cares that much about Australia to go, here's Volk, Izzy, and Usman. You know what I'm saying, man? I know we're having a 2021 reunion right now with 309, but I don't think we're going to get that. I think what's more likely is Jack Della Maddalena versus Sean Brady. This fight was supposed to happen already back in this was supposed to happen back in UFC 290, damn, when I was happy in life. But yeah, this fight was supposed to happen back in the day, right? And I think now where both of these guys are, they're both coming off a win against Gilbert Burns. I'm not even going to try and pretend that I think Sean Brady wins this fight. I think JDM would get taken down and lose round 1, get up, TKO him in round 2 or round 3 with body shots and uppercuts and hooks up against the fence. People would still be complaining. They'd be like, actually, Sean Brady was up 1 round on the scorecard. But I think this is the type of matchup where JDM survives the scrambles, gets back up, finds a TKO late. The crowd goes fucking crazy. But it is a good matchup. Like, I am enjoying what the UFC is doing. I just saw that they announced Gary versus Buckley. I like that. I like when they just make fights that make fucking sense. See how easy it is? Why are we making Stipe and Joe? Let me stop. But Brady versus JDM makes sense. 2 young guys that are the future of the division. They're right next to each other in the rankings. The winner of this can move on to a title shot against the winner of Shavkat versus Bilal when they fight like next year. Right? It makes a lot more sense with the timeline. And if the winner is not very convincing, boom, just fight Colby Covington. Fight Leon Edwards. Probably not Colby. Fight Leon Edwards, bro. You know what I mean? I think this is a great matchup at welterweight. Good featured fight as well. Now, the second to last fight on this main card that I want to make, we got to address the elephant in the room. we got to address Tai Tuivasa, bro. Oh my god, I didn't even mean to do that. But listen, bro, we got to address the empty Taco Bell box in the room. Let's just put it like that, okay? Tai Tuivasa's on like a 6-fight losing streak. He hasn't been cut from the UFC. I think this is his last chance. And I feel like if I'm the UFC, what's more likely? Does Tai Tuivasa suddenly go back on a title run? Right? The second I put on that Tai Tuivasa t-shirt, I just feel another loss coming, right? Either he turns it all around and wins by KO and the crowd goes fucking crazy in Sydney, or what's more likely is he's cooked, he doesn't really care, he's going to get one more fight in and then he's going to leave the UFC and go box or some shit like that, right? If I'm the UFC knowing what's more likely, I would match him up with a prospect that they're trying to push. And let me tell you, man, Mick Parkin, he's a great fight. I mean, this guy's piecing up Tom Aspinall in the gym every day. Mick Parkin, I mean, just the pure aura of this man. This guy's one of the greatest prospects in UFC history. I mean, nobody's moving like Slick Mick Parkin. That's what we call him in the gym down at the team with Aspinall. And I can't look at this guy and seriously be like, bro, this guy's a problem. But he is a good heavyweight prospect. He is fast. He will probably finish Tai Tuivasa quickly. And like I said, if I'm the UFC, I would rather have Tai Tuivasa lose to someone that we're trying to build up than be like, here's fucking Alexander Romanov, and then you lose to Romanov. You know what I mean? Like, nobody gives a fuck. At least if you feed him to, not literally, if you feed him to Mick Parkin, you're getting like an exciting prospect. Wow, this guy KO'd Tai Tuivasa in 1 round. Holy shit. or damn, this guy pieced up Tai Tuivasa. You know what I mean? You're going to get something out of that if you're the UFC. So I'm thinking Tai Tuivasa versus Mick Parkin as the second fight on the main card. Maybe if Dan Hooker somehow ends up on this card. I don't think Dan Hooker will end up on this card. I know I just said we're going to get it stacked, but I think Volk, Lopez, Izzy and Mavov, JDM, Brady is good enough with the Australian and New Zealand names. And considering how important all of those matchups are, I don't think we're getting a full main card of like Kai Kara France, Dan Hooker, you know, all these other guys. I think Dan Hooker's next fight is going to be Charles Oliveira or fucking Max Holloway, which it should be Max Holloway for the BMF belt. Please make that fight, Dana. And those fights are not happening in Australia, bro. I'm not fucking delusional out here, dude. I'm not like these other people that comment, I'm like, dude, this matchmaking sucks, bro. This is my card, bro. Volk versus Ngannou. We're going to do Dan Hooker versus Conor McGregor as the co-main event. We're going to do Usman versus Colby 3 versus JDM in a triple threat match in the feature fight. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, dude. The UFC's not treating us that good. All right? Second fight on the card, or at best, featured prelim. Tuivasa versus Porkin. Winner gets a Taco Bell Supreme Crunch Wrap. Opening up the main card, this is like the whole, I'm not gonna lie, this is like low-key the reason I made this video. This, like, you guys can say what you want about me, dude, but nobody makes a banger opener to a pay-per-view like your boy, all right? Often imitated, never duplicated. Best matchmaker on YouTube. Opening up my UFC 312 main card. Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. You're fucking welcome. Bow down. Jeff Neal versus Prates. I need this, brother. I need this fight. Jeff Neal just beat RDA via fucking Darren Till TKO. Made me fucking ACL. Carlos Prates is probably going to KO Neil Magny inside 2 rounds. They're both fighting like back to back, and they're going to take minimal damage if they win easily, which I think Prates is going to win. I know I said in my video Neil Magny's going to fraud check. God forbid a brother makes a joke. You know what I mean, man? God forbid a brother uses some sarcasm. You know, people, bro, there's no way you're picking Neil Magny, bro. No! Why would I pick Neil Magny to win? You stupid fuck. But regardless, I'm sorry for that. Carlos Prates, when he beats Neil Magny, 100% / serious here, guys. I think him versus Jeff Neal is a fucking sick fight. This is the type of matchups we should be putting on pay-per-views. Jeff Neal, his boxing versus Carlos Prates' Muay Thai. You're not going to get Prates running away like Ian Gary. You're not going to get clinching up against the fence like Neil Magny. You're going to get a stand-up battle. Carlos Prates represents Australia. Like, I know he represents Brazil and Muay Thai, but he has a lot of connections to Australia. That's why he was on the card 305 against Li Jingliang. I think this is a badass fucking fight to make. I'm going to be really disappointed if the UFC doesn't make this because I contemplated putting this like further up the card. I'm so proud of it, but I'll put it here as my main card opener just to flex a little bit. That's the card I think the UFC should do with 312. Neal versus Prates opening it up. Tuivasa versus Porkin. All right. JDM, let me tell you about this guy, versus Brady. That dude's badass. All right. Israel Adesanya versus Imavov. Featured a co-main event, 3 rounds, not 5. Please, come on, dude. And Volk versus Lopez in the main event for the interim title. This is, like, I feel this is reasonable. I feel this is realistic. I feel like I'm trying to fucking pitch a TV show to you right now. This is realistic. This is within the budget. I'm not putting fucking 5 main eventers on this pay-per-view. I'm not asking for a lot. I've got Mick Parkin on the main card. I'm not asking for a lot here, Dana. But that's what I think should be on the main card. I'm going to mention some prelims here, but I'm not going to put them on the screen because it's like nobody gives a fuck about the prelims, but I do. I think Justin Taffa versus Walter Walker would be sick because Walter Walker beat Junior Taffa. Not me, by the way. And they have beef. That makes sense. I would love to see Cameron Simon versus Cody Haddon. I think that would be a sweet fucking fight. I'd love to see Jack Jenkins on this card. Again, not me versus Darren Elkins. And I think Jake Matthews, not me as well, versus Themba Gorimbo would be a great fight. I don't know what the UFC does with Steve Erceg. Like, he just got knocked out pretty badly, so I don't think he would be on this card either. If he is, honestly, just have him headline the prelims or put him as the second fight on the card against, like, Manel Karp and put Tuivasa versus Parkin as the headliner of the prelims. That's my opinions on UFC 312. These are the fights that I think they should be making, but let me know down below. What do you guys think of UFC 312? Should I go? Would you like to see me go? Who's going to be there if I do? And yeah, drop all that stuff in the comments. I missed you guys. I'm back. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. We just hit 55,000, so I really appreciate that. And yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. I will see you guys in the next video, man. Goodbye.